We walk through modern cities every day, but have you ever wondered, beneath those layers of concrete, which architectural masterpieces have forever been buried deep in the ground? From magnificent stations built like palaces to the proud early skyscrapers, all were leveled in the name of progress. Today, let us travel back in time to reminisce about the lost great heritages of America. Now, let us begin. Opened in 1910, the original Pennsylvania station was a beaux-arts masterpiece of pink granite. Yet, in 1963, this architectural wonder was completely demolished to make way for Madison Square Garden. Its tragic destruction shocked the public, sparking the birth of the modern historic preservation movement in New York City. Completed in 1893, the Erie County Savings Bank building was a Romanesque Richardsonian masterpiece, resembling a fortress of solid granite. This iconic Buffalo landmark was demolished in 1968 to make way for the Main Place Tower development. Its loss remains a painful reminder of the destruction of America's golden age of masonry. Built in 1893, Boston's historic North Union Station was famous for its grand granite arch and striking red brick tower. As a bustling transit hub for New England, this landmark was demolished in 1927 to make way for the first Boston Garden Arena. Its destruction marked a sharp transition from classical transport architecture to commercial sports entertainment. Starting as the National Surgical Institute in the mid-1990s, this grand Romanesque structure soon went bankrupt before transforming into the elegant Imperial Hotel. Despite its unique turrets and striking dome, it was ruthlessly demolished in the late 1940s to make way for a parking lot. A tragic sacrifice of heritage to accommodate the rise of the automobile era. Opened in 1904, the Hotel Astor was the epitome of luxury and the cultural heart of Times Square for over 60 decades. Featuring grand beaux-arts architecture and a famous rooftop garden, this 11-story landmark hosted world leaders and stars. In 1968, it was demolished to make way for a modern office tower, closing a golden chapter of New York's Belle Epoque. Completed in 1908, the 47-story Singer Building once held the record as the tallest building in the world. Its exquisite beaux-arts design and iconic domed tower defined the early Manhattan skyline. In 1968, it was demolished to make way for One Liberty Plaza, becoming the tallest skyscraper in history ever to be intentionally destroyed. Opened in 1904, the Wabash Pittsburgh Terminal was a 9-story beaux-arts masterpiece featuring a magnificent domed tower. Tragically, after severe financial struggles and a devastating fire in 1946, this grand station was completely demolished in 1954 to make way for the Gateway Center development. Opened in 1889, right on the scenic shores of Lake Michigan, the Chicago and Northwestern Lakefront Depot featured striking Romanesque architecture and a towering clock tower. Once a proud gateway to Milwaukee, it was demolished in 1968 after passenger rail service declined. Its loss left a deep void in the hearts of American railroad history enthusiasts. Completed in 1897, Detroit's Old Federal Building was a Richardsonian Romanesque masterpiece of granite and sandstone dominated by a towering clock tower. Serving as the city's majestic post office and courthouse, this landmark was demolished in 1931 to make way for a larger modern federal high-rise. Its destruction silenced one of Detroit's greatest stone-carved monuments. Opened in 1860 and grandly expanded, the Riverside Inn was the oldest and most famous hotel in the scenic Saranac Lake region of the Adirondacks. Featuring multi-level wooden verandas, it welcomed thousands seeking escape from bustling cities. This iconic mountain retreat was finally demolished in 1935 to make way for a public riverfront park. Starting as a small wooden boarding house in 1879, the Traymore Hotel underwent massive expansions to become a grand concrete palace with iconic Moorish domes. As the ultimate symbol of Atlantic City's golden resort era, this architectural giant was demolished with explosives in 1972 during the city's economic decline. Built in 1890, this magnificent Queen Anne Victorian mansion featured a striking turret and exquisite stone carvings. Once a proud symbol of wealth and prestige in Dubuque, Iowa, this incredible architectural gem was demolished in 1956, simply to make way for a car parking lot. Opened in 1882, the Casino Theater was a Moorish revival pioneer and the very first Broadway theater to be fully lit by electricity. Featuring a unique circular tower and exotic details, it was the birthplace of historic musicals. This legendary venue was demolished in 1930 to clear land for modern commercial developments. The catastrophic 1906 earthquake and fire devastated San Francisco's newly completed City Hall. This haunting photograph reveals the exposed steel skeleton of its massive dome after the outer masonry crumbled away. This ruined structure stood as an iconic and powerful symbol of the sheer destructive power of nature in American history. Completed in 1887 in the Grand Second Empire style, the old Franklin County Courthouse was a long-standing symbol of justice in Columbus, Ohio. Featuring a majestic mansard roof and a towering central clock tower, this sandstone landmark was sadly demolished in 1974 after a modern courthouse complex was built nearby. Opened in 1908, the Canal Street Terminal Station of New Orleans was famous for its colossal beaux-arts granite archway. As a grand gateway to the South's busiest commercial street, this architectural masterpiece was demolished in 1956 after the city consolidated its rail lines into a single terminal. Designed by Alfred B. Mullett and completed in 1880, the City Hall Post Office was a massive Second Empire masterpiece of solid granite. Standing at the south tip of City Hall Park, this imposing structure was often called Mullett's Monstrosity due to its overwhelming size. It was completely demolished in 1939 to restore the park's historic open green space. Opened in 1907 at 42nd Street and Madison Avenue, the Hotel Manhattan was a striking beaux-arts masterpiece featuring a grand mansard roof. Designed by the legendary architect Henry Hardenberg, this luxurious 14-story landmark was once dubbed the Playhouse of New York. After later serving as an office building, it was sadly demolished in 1961. Opened in 1906, Young's $1 Million Pier in Atlantic City was a massive oceanfront amusement hub featuring grand theaters, ballrooms, and a majestic Italian-style villa. After suffering from devastating storms and fires, this historic wooden landmark was finally demolished in 1981 to be replaced by a modern shopping mall. Built in 1860 by Gilbert Hathaway, the Firs was a beautiful red brick mansion showcasing classic Italianate architecture with broad verandas. After standing for over a century as a proud witness to the history of New Baltimore, Michigan, this historic landmark was completely demolished in 2005 to make way for modern residential developments. Completed in 1891, the old Etowah County Courthouse in Gadsden, Alabama, was a beautiful red brick Romanesque structure dominated by a prominent central clock tower. Once a proud local landmark, this historic courthouse was demolished in 1950 to make way for a newer and larger county building. Opened in 1884 at 4th Avenue and Smithfield Street, the old Pittsburgh Post Office and Courthouse was a majestic Second Empire masterpiece featuring fine towers and a grand mansard roof. Once a symbol of the city's industrial wealth, this magnificent structure was demolished in 1966 to make way for the modern One Oliver Plaza office tower. Opened in 1902 in Philadelphia, Keith's Theater was a spectacular entertainment hub boasting an exquisitely carved beaux-arts facade. It once served as a grand temple of vaudeville, hosting legendary performers of the era. Tragically, this magnificent venue was demolished in 1971 after decades of decline and abandonment. Completed in 1890 in Minneapolis, the Metropolitan Building is widely regarded as the city's first true skyscraper. Built of dark red granite and sandstone, it featured a spectacular glass-lighted atrium and open cage elevators inside. This historic icon was controversially demolished in 1961 during a massive urban renewal campaign. Standing at the unique triangular intersection of Maine and Delaware, the K Hotel building was Kansas City's very own Flatiron structure. Featuring a striking sharp tower, it stood as a prominent landmark in the heart of the business district for decades. Sadly, this architectural icon was demolished in 1952 to widen the city streets for traffic. Completed in 1871 at the bustling Campus Martis, Detroit's Old City Hall was a magnificent Second Empire masterpiece featuring a towering central clock tower. Once a proud symbol of the city's industrial golden age, this sandstone landmark was controversially demolished in 1961 to clear land for a public plaza space. Opened in 1897 next to Madison Square, the DeSoto Hotel was a massive Richardsonian Romanesque red brick masterpiece representing the pinnacle of Southern luxury. Hosting multiple U.S. presidents and high society guests, this historic landmark was demolished in 1965 to make way for a modern hotel building. Opened in 1907 in downtown Detroit, the Hotel Pontchartrain was a spectacular 15-story beaux-arts masterpiece crowned by a massive ornate mansard roof. Serving as a lavish hub for the city's early automotive barons, this grand landmark was shockingly demolished in 1920 after just 13 years of service to make way for a larger bank tower. Opened in 1887 at the bustling Lafayette Square, the old Buffalo Public Library was a stunning Richardsonian Romanesque masterpiece built of red brick and brownstone. Serving as the city's proud cultural and intellectual hub for decades, this architectural icon was demolished in 1963 to make way for the modern Central Library. Opened in 1878 at Madison and Superior Streets, the Toledo Produce Exchange was a solid and elegant Italianate brick structure. Serving as the bustling commercial heart that helped Toledo become one of America's largest grain ports, this historic landmark was demolished in 1984 to make way for a modern office high-rise. First lit in 1890 off the coast of Boston, the original Deer Island Light was a unique cast-iron spark plug-style lighthouse. Standing strong against relentless ocean waves to guide ships safely to port, this iconic structure was demolished in 1982 due to severe deterioration and replaced with a modern automated beacon. Completed in 1918, the Jamaica Avenue elevated line was a vital transit artery that spurred the rapid growth of Queens, New York. This 1944 photograph captures the bustling street life beneath massive steel girders shading local shops. This historic elevated railway section was finally demolished in 1977 to revitalize the downtown streetscape. Completed in 1905 at the busy intersection of 5th and Liberty, the Diamond Building is a unique beaux-arts structure featuring an irregular pentagonal footprint designed to follow the bend of the streets. Designed by the renowned firm McClure and Spar, it once served as the Diamond National Bank. Unlike many lost landmarks, this historic gem still stands proud in downtown Pittsburgh today. Opened in 1885, the Ryan Hotel in St. Paul was a majestic brick and stone palace showcasing a grand Queen Anne Gothic style with soaring corner turrets. Once the pinnacle of luxury in Minnesota and a premier host for high society guests, this massive architectural masterpiece was sadly demolished in 1962 to clear land for a car parking lot. First opened in 1868 and rebuilt with solid brick in 1903, the Chalfont Hotel was one of the oldest and grandest resorts on the Atlantic City beachfront. Facing the world-famous wooden boardwalk, this historic retreat welcomed generations of vacationing Americans. It was tragically demolished in 1980 to make way for a casino parking lot. Completed in 1898 on Huntington Avenue, Mechanics Hall was a massive exhibition and convention complex, showcasing a grand Queen Anne Romanesque brick design. With a spectacular auditorium seating over 8,000 people, it was the cultural beating heart of Boston for decades. This historic landmark was demolished in 1959 to clear land for the modern Prudential Center development. Completed in 1898 at the corner of Broadway and Park Row, the 26th-story St. Paul building was one of the world's earliest and tallest early skyscrapers of its time. Designed by the renowned architect George B. Post, it featured a striking classical limestone facade adorned with exquisitely sculpted atlas figures. This proud early skyscraper was demolished in 1958 to make way for a modern office high-rise. Opened in 1905 on the scenic Narragansett coast, the new Mathewson Hotel was a massive resort, showcasing a grand shingle and Queen Anne style with prominent circular towers. Serving as a lavish summer playground for New England's high society, this magnificent wooden landmark was tragically destroyed by a catastrophic fire in 1918. Completed in 1894 at Broad Street and South Penn Square, the 13-story Betts Building was Philadelphia's very first steel-frame skyscraper. Showcasing a spectacular Romanesque revival design in limestone and glazed brick, it featured carved bronze busts of U.S. presidents on its facade. This pioneering architectural icon was demolished in 1958 to make way for a modern office high-rise. Completed in 1904, the Wabash Bridge was a massive steel cantilever railroad structure spanning the Monongahela River in Pittsburgh. Once a vital link bringing the Wabash Railroad directly into the downtown terminal, the bridge became obsolete after a devastating station fire in 1946. This engineering marvel was finally demolished in 1948, leaving only its historic stone piers. Each of these lost landmarks, from grand transit terminals to towering early skyscrapers, carried the unique spirit of its era. While progress inevitably reshapes our cities, looking at these historic photographs reminds us of the timeless beauty that once graced our streets. Which of these magnificent structures do you wish was still standing today? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to join us on more journeys through history. Thank you for watching.